What's up, guys? All right, we got this Tacx bicycle roller trainer that I'm going to be unboxing. I'm going to show you how to put it together, and then we're going to test out several different bikes to see how they fit on this. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because, as you can see here, it's saying that this fits between a 26-inch wheel to a 29-inch wheel. What bikes will actually fit on this? Because I would actually like to see if a BMX bike will fit on this. I will be trying out my road bike, my mountain bike. I've got a 24-inch cruiser BMX bike, and then we also have a 20-inch BMX bike we are going to try to fit on this thing. And as always, guys, I will have everything linked in the description below, so be sure to check that out. Let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. Go ahead and get this out of here. Okay, so there you have it. Pretty simple, guys. We've got the two side rails, three rollers, looks like a cable, and then we've got an Allen wrench as well as some screws in this bag. So it looks like it's going to be fairly simple to put together. Okay, so the first step looks like we're going to install the rollers. So I'm just going to kind of get them into place. Just make sure that the rubber band, this big rubber band or whatever you want to call it, is actually not behind the rear roller. It needs to be just on the front too. We're going to take one of these screws with a washer, and we're going to insert it into the hole down here and screw it into the roller. One screw, one washer. Yeah, so that's what you got to do, guys. Go ahead and tighten it with both Allen wrenches. It'll get it nice and tight, and that way it's not spinning the shaft of the roller. Okay, so pretty easy assembly, guys. I gotta say, that's pretty much it. Okay, so for the next step, we want to measure the wheelbase of the bike that we want to use on the rollers. Now, as you can see here from the picture, these are the points where they want you to do the measuring. And you can also see that they've used millimeters here instead of inches. So I went ahead and did a conversion to inches. Now, I used the Google conversion calculator, so take these measurements with a grain of salt if you don't trust Google. If you want to see the measurements for each setting, go ahead and pause now. Again, guys, feel free to double check my measurements on that. But basically, this should fit a bike with a wheelbase of 37.4 inches all the way up to 43.3 inches. The first bike we're going to check is my Trek Marlin 6, which is a frame size of large and has 29-inch wheels. And right off the bat, I already have a problem because according to where they want me to take the measurements, my bike measures out to 45 inches, which is about 2 inches longer than what the max wheelbase is for these rollers. But let's go ahead and get the rollers set up to position 1 and see if this thing will fit on it. All right, guys, so to adjust this thing, we're going to flip it upside down. And as you can see, we've kind of got it collapsed down a little bit. It's not, stretched out. It's kind of collapsed down. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is pull this plastic piece that you can kind of see here out because we need to adjust it because we're going to want to move this button to the number 1 position, which I'll show you in just a minute. So what I found to be the easiest way is to take the Allen wrench and you can kind of push that down really far, and then you can start working this out. And then it's going to click. We're going to work it out again, and so on. And then watch it because it pops out that there's a spring in there, and it looks like this, and then your spring looks like this. All right, so if we're looking at the picture now of what it's showing the positions to be, it's showing position 1 to be right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the spring in, and then I'm going to put this piece in here, and then we are going to push it in, and then push it down until it locks into place. So that is going to be position 1. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, guys, now that I've got the position 1 set on both sides, we're going to flip these little plastic tabs out on both sides. And now what I'm going to do is expand this until our position 1 pin pops through this hole right here. And then once that's in position on both sides, I'll go ahead and close these tabs on both sides, and then we should be ready to set the bike on top. Well, as luck would have it, guys, when I expanded it out, the pin was not popping up through the hole and keeping it in place. It was actually getting hung up a little bit, and it wasn't fully popping all the way up. After moving it back and forth several times and trying to push on it to get it to pop up, it just wouldn't. It was getting caught on the side of the hole. So I first tried putting a little bit of oil on it to see if that might help, but it didn't work. Ultimately, I had to actually take a file and kind of widen the hole just a little bit to get that pin to push up and down without getting hung up on the side. Hopefully you guys won't experience that, and it just happened to be in my case, but that's what I had to do to get it to actually click into place. Okay, well, that was a little bit of a bummer that was happening with that pin, but filing it ever so lightly like I just did, it actually worked. Now it's springing up and down with no problem without getting stuck. So now that brings us to where we're at now. This is going to be the longest of our settings for this, and let's go ahead and give you a measurement. We're looking at about 53 inches long, and then of course we're about 18 and a quarter wide. The width obviously does not change. So that's where we're at in position 1. So now let's go ahead and see how the mountain bike fits on this. All right, guys, so that's how it fits. As you can see, the front wheel is a little bit over the center, clearly over the center. I guess it'll remain to be seen if that's going to be a problem. So interesting that it went with tire or wheel sizes of 26 to 29, but yet it looks like 29 might be a little long for it. Well, if I could actually balance, you can see that at least it looks like it's working. Next up, we've got a Haro Race Light Pro 24. It's a 24-inch BMX cruiser, and the wheelbase measurements are 39 inches. According to our chart, that means we're going to need to reposition the rollers to position 6. So I'm going to get the rollers adjusted to position 6, and we'll go ahead and see how this guy fits on there. So this BMX cruiser with the 24-inch wheels fits on here perfectly. And as you know, we still have adjustments. We could make it a little shorter. We could make it a little longer if we wanted to. But it appears that this bike is going to fit on here with no problem. Next, we've got a GT Mach 1 20-inch bike with the Expert frame. And its wheelbase measures 34 inches, which is less than our lowest setting of 37.4 on the rollers. With that being said, I'm going to set the rollers to the 7 position, its shortest position, and we'll see if this bike fits on it. At first glance, it does appear that the 20-inch BMX bike will fit. However, you can see that the front wheel does line up here on the back side of the front roller. It's not an optimal position for the front tire, but it appears to work. As you can see here from me pedaling, the bike does stay on the rollers. But I would say buyer be cautious when ordering this. It may or may not work for all 20-inch bikes. Next up, we've got a Trek Domani 5. This bike has a 58 centimeter frame, and the wheelbase measures out to be 40 and a quarter inches. So if we take a look at our size chart, we're going to have to be moving the positions of the rollers to position 4. Okay, I've got the rollers set here to position 4, and as you can see here, the bike fits on here very nicely. That front wheel right on top of the roller like it should be, and if we wanted to adjust it, we have plenty of adjustments to make it larger or smaller if we needed to. Obviously, I've got a lot of work to do as I learn the rollers here, but as you can see, the bike is staying on while I'm pedaling. All right, guys, so in conclusion, it does appear that these rollers will hold bikes with a wheel diameter of 20 inches all the way up to 29 inches. However, buyer use caution at the 20-inch wheel diameter and at the 29-inch wheel diameter. As we saw, it really boils down more toward your wheelbase width, which has a lot to do not only with the wheel size, but the actual frame size that you have. On my channel, you can expect to see content around my weight loss, my diet, my fitness. Obviously, cycling is a big part of my fitness, so you'll see cycling stuff as well as stuff around my home gym. And I'm just trying to motivate people, especially people over 40 who think they can't lose weight, that they absolutely can do it, and you don't need a trainer, you don't need a coach. I was able to do all of my weight loss by myself, and I'm just sharing my story. Anyway, guys, I hope this video helped you out and answered some of your questions about these rollers. Be sure to hit that like button if you liked it, and smash that subscribe button so you get notified when I upload a new video. video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.